So another story on January 31st this year was the death of Rasual Butler and his wife Leah LaBelle, and they died in a car crash. And like I said in the last video, there's always ritual sacrifice deaths that are connected to major sporting events, and our media stories are synced up to these major sporting events, and the major sporting events are also synced up to other things that are going on in the world. And this guy and his wife's death are an absolute complete tribute to the Super Bowl that's coming up. And I'll show you why. So, he's connected to the Eagles and his wife is connected to the Patriots. So it's just, a double-coded thing. If you're new here, check out the links in the description called How to Gematria. It's the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases, and, have tons and tons of videos proving my facts, proving what I'm saying over and over again, how our media is scripted, our sports leagues are scripted, our history is scripted, and so on. So the reason that January 31st is such an important day is because in this system, the word Super Bowl equals 131. And think about that in regards to January 31st. A lot like 131, the word championship equals 131. So we're getting the story of these deaths on January 31st. And look at this guy's name in Gematria. Rasual Butler, 150 in Gematria, just like Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, 150. Rasual Butler, 150. And now we have the Eagles coming up in the Super Bowl. He dies on a date connected to Super Bowl. He even dies at the age of 38, and the Super Bowl's in Minnesota. Minnesota in Gematria equals 38. And it also equals 52. Let's type it out really quick. Minnesota, 38 and 52. Even if you write out 52, it equals 38. We're going into Super Bowl 52. Even it's played in U.S. Bank Stadium. That equals 38. Minnesota equals 38. Remember, Prince died last year. Everything about Prince was connected to the number 38. Even the Chanhassen or whatever equals 38. Super Bowl 52. LII equals 38. Super Bowl LII equals 163, which is the 38th prime number. So super important that he dies age 38. His name equals the same as Philadelphia Eagles. He even died 112 days before his birthday. And in the video in the description, I even talk about that, how the calendar is synced up to this. This happens all of the time. Celebrities and people alike, they die so many days away from their birthday that's synced up to their name Gematria or synced up to whatever they are connected to. This guy is a sacrifice for the Super Bowl, and, he dies 112 days before his birthday. Look what Super Bowl also equals. Super Bowl equals 112, and he dies on January 31st. If you go the other way, if you go from his birthday so he died 253 days after his birthday as well, which is also significant to the Eagles. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania equals 253 in Gematria. And it's also interesting that he died 8 months and 8 days after his birthday. 88 is this huge number that is super synced up to the theme of this year, which is kneeling during the national anthem. And, the word kneel equals 88. Colin Kaepernick equals 88. I can spell it here. Colin Kaepernick equals 88. The Star Spangled Banner equals 88. Also, the word kneel equals 88. U.S. Bank Stadium equals 88. And I even talked about how this year it's the 88th anniversary of the stock market crash falling when Herbert Hoover was the president. H is the 8th letter, a lot like 88. Herbert Hoover, even the guy who signed into Congress that the Star Spangled Banner be the official national anthem. Herbert Hoover in Gematria equals 159, just like Donald Trump, 159, just like Francis Key, the guy who wrote the national anthem, 159. All synced up to that number 88. Even that's the reason why Justin Timberlake is even doing the halftime show, because the last time he did it was he was in Super Bowl 38, right? Think about that in regards to Minnesota. And that was the Janet Jackson thing where he showed her boob or whatever. She's singing songs off her album called Rhythm Nation 1814. And the 1814, she says, is in honor of the year the national anthem was written. Also, Trump in Gematria equals 88. In satanic Gematria, Donald Trump equals 523. And, just think about it. His birthday is May 23rd, 523. Also, it can be written as 23/5, 253. There's some connection there, It even says that he was drafted in the second round as the 53rd pick, 253, and then dies 253 days after his birthday, synced up to Philadelphia. He even went to high school in Philadelphia, a Philadelphia native. One thing I thought was super interesting was that it says that he's good friends with Lamar Odom, close friends with Lamar Odom. And if you've been following my channel, I've been talking about how all of the stuff in 2015 that I was talking about in my videos, I talked a ton about Philadelphia and whatever else. And, this year, just all of this stuff keeps coming back up. We even got the Paris, France, or the Thals train attack people, Alex Scarletos and Spencer Stone and whatnot. They're going to be in a movie that's based on them saving people on the train or whatever. That was in 2015. And then the one guy was from Roseburg, Oregon. And then we got the Roseburg, Oregon shooting like a month later. And then a week later, we got the other guy getting stabbed in Sacramento. And it was all synced up to Pope Francis. They were 404 miles apart. Pope Francis's big visit was in 2015 to the United States. Pope Francis equals 404 in Gematria. It was 404 years after the King James Bible was written in 1611. Revelation has 404 chapters, or 404 verses. But anyway, just interesting. There's a connection to Lamar Odom. Even, remember Lamar Odom? He was at the Love Ranch or whatever, and supposedly passed out or, went unconscious, and there was the big old deal, Lamar Odom might die, and blah, blah, blah. That was on October 13th when they found him. The thing that sticks out about that was in Black History Month that year, the 59th day of the year, a number negatively stamped on black people all throughout history. Even the Civil War came to an end on May 9th. Well, like 5-9, slave equals 59, Negro equals 59, Cotton Picker, Jigaboo, Motown Records came out in 59, blues equals 59, HIV supposedly came from the Belgian Congo that equals 59 in the year 59. Just tons of other examples. Eli Whitney died at the age of 59. But moral of the story, that year in 2015, we got the death of Anthony Mason, who most people knew as being the sixth man of the year, the NBA sixth man of the year. That's how they write it. That equals 228. He died on February 28th, 228. He died 228 days before Lamar Odom's was found unconscious and everything else. And Lamar Odom, also known as the NBA Sixth Man of the Year. 2015, we got a whole bunch of first black deaths as well. Like the first black PGA Tour player, the first black... They all died in Black History Month, too. The first black NHL player, something like that. The Minnie Minoso or something. The first black Cuban baseball player or White Sox player or something. It's a lot of first black stuff in 2015. But Lamar Odom is currently 38 years old. So hopefully I didn't lose you, but Lamar Odom's 38 years old. Minnesota equals 38. Lamar Odom equals 38. His name in the reverse method equals 52, right? Super Bowl 52. I showed the connection to 38 and 52 earlier. In regards to Minnesota, pretty well known for playing with the Los Angeles Lakers and connected to the Kardashians in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Lakers were originally from Minneapolis. Talked about that all season, how Kobe Bryant's connected to the Philadelphia Eagles being in the Super Bowl. Kobe Bryant, even a Philadelphia native. Michael Jordan has a whole bunch of ties to Philadelphia as well. Even the country, Jordan, the capital used to be Philadelphia until the year 106 AD, and then it was later destroyed by earthquakes. So, just pointing that out, I guess. Moving on, so it also said they died on Ventura Boulevard, which is also U.S. Highway 101. And in Gematria, Philadelphia equals 101. And I just pointed out Ventura Boulevard, it makes me think of Jesse Ventura, who was the 38th governor of Minnesota, right? And I just covered a whole bunch of stuff about how the WWE is also synced up to the Super Bowl. We even just had the Royal Rumble that was held in Philadelphia. So his wife here, Leah LaBelle Vladowski, or however you pronounce that, notice she was born on 9/8, a lot like 98. Well, it's the 98th season of the NFL. Patriots and Gematria equal 98. Tom Brady equals 98. Her real name then, Leah Vladowski, even equals 52. Think about that in regards to Super Bowl 52. They die on a date synced up to the Super Bowl. It's just funny, he dies in a connection, super connection to the Eagles. She's got all these connections to the Patriots. It also said that, she got her big start or whatever. She is famous for the TV show American Idol. And in Gematria, American Idol equals 220. And she died 220 days before her birthday or whatever. Before her next birthday, 220 days. American Idol equals 220. She gained recognition from singing the song I Believe in You and Me on that show. I Believe in You and Me equals 98, like her birthday, like the numbers synced up to the Patriots. Also, in regards to Lamar Odom was found unconscious at the Love Ranch in Crystal, Nevada. Love Ranch equals 98, and Crystal equals 98. Crystal, Nevada equals 145. Love Ranch in reverse equals 145. I've been talking about how this year's Super Bowl is really synced up to Pope Francis and Pope Francis's visit to Philadelphia when he came to the United States in the 239th year. And the 239th prime is 52, or the 52nd prime is 239. And the flag was supposedly sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. Philadelphia turned 333 years old in the 239th year of the United States. And in Jewish Gematria, if you write out Philadelphia Eagles, it equals 333. But moral of the story, this lady died 145 days after her birthday, right? So Love Ranch 145, Crystal, Nevada 145. They're synced up to Lamar Odom. Car crash equals 145 in Gematria. She died in a car crash. Also, if you write out 98 in satanic Gematria, 98 equals 521. I thought that was interesting because 521 is the 98th prime number. So, just interesting. Has a connection. Also, this girl she was a wild card. She was a wild card on American Idol. And Paula Abdul was the one who brought her on the show or whatever at the wild card. And Paula Abdul, if you look it up, she sang the pregame show of Super Bowl 42, and that was when the Giants upset the Patriots. So I don't know. I don't really even care, but there is a narrative for the Eagles. I've been wondering this for a while because I was covering a whole bunch of the Ram symbolism and how it's connected to the Eagles and connected to Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Bradford and Nick Foles, even Case Keenum, and the Super Bowl's held in Minnesota. They all have connections to the Rams and whatnot. And, the Rams had Kurt Warner and he came out of nowhere and won the Super Bowl for him and whatnot against the Titans. So I don't know, just something I've been thinking about in regards to that. There's a whole lot of stuff with Charles Manson dying too, which I talked about last year at the Super Bowl, how all of the kneeling stuff was synced up to Charles Manson and his Helter Skelter theory that talks about blacks rising up because of the Beatles album, right? And the Beatles song Blackbird, and then the Atlanta Falcons were in the Super Bowl, and his Helter Skelter theory is all based in Revelation too. So Revelation and Philadelphia comes from the book of Revelation, and Charles Manson died 77 days before the Super Bowl. Helter Skelter equals 77 in Gematria. Book of Revelation equals 77. But the Patriots also have a whole bunch of connections to the number 77. Boston equals 77. Tom Brady born in 77. The death of Terry Glenn, who caught the first, right after Charles Manson or whatever, he caught the first pass of Tom Brady's career, first touchdown pass of Tom Brady's career. Terry Glenn equals 77, And his full name equals 777, just like U.S. Bank Stadium. And if the Patriots win, they'll be 7-7 all time against the Eagles. So 77 is a super important number. United States equals 77. World Trade Center equals 77. Remember Flight 77 at the 77-foot tall Pentagon, exactly 77 minutes after takeoff on the 77th meridian. September 11th equals 77. Running out of breath there. Need to work on my breathing, but geez, it's like tons of 77. 77 super important. So the last thing I just pointed out in this post was that this same day, so the people who reported this guy's death was the Miami Heat, right? They were the ones who confirmed his death, even though he played for a whole bunch of other teams. And the Miami Heat just remind you of LeBron James. And when the same day that they died, the Cavaliers played the Heat even, right? Cavaliers played the Miami Heat. Heat and Jewish Gematria equals 114. LeBron James equals 114. LeBron James equals 51. Remember in 2016, they won the NBA Finals for the first time, won a sports championship for Cleveland for the first time in 51 years. Cleveland equals 51. LeBron James equals 51. They play in Quicken Loans Arena. Quicken Loans equals 51. All kinds of stuff. And there's more that I need to look into because I feel like there's something connected with Lamar Odom since he played for the Clippers. And then he began at the Clippers and ended at the Clippers. We just got the Blake Griffin trade. The Blake Griffin trade is super synced up to the Houston Rockets. And in my Lamar Odom videos that I made in 2015, I even mentioned a bunch about the Houston Rockets. So who knows, Also, the bird. There's a lot of bird symbolism too as well. And the Griffin is the half lion, half bird, right? Or half eagle. So half lion, half eagle. Blake Griffin goes to Detroit where the Lions play. Now the Eagles are the Super Bowl. And he played at Oklahoma where Sam Bradford played. Remember when Sam Bradford got traded to Oklahoma or to the Vikings, we got the earthquake in Oklahoma, the 5.6 earthquake. Sam Bradford equals 56 in Gematria. So I don't know. I'll make a whole separate video possibly on Blake Griffin. I have a whole blog post. You can come read it. But just wanted to point out that, once again, there's these ritual sacrifices, these tributes to the Super Bowl. And, it's double coded. He's coded up to Philadelphia. His wife seemingly coded up to the Patriots. So we'll leave it at that. Check out the videos in the description. Have a good one. Peace.